guys, welcome back to another reading vlog. So it's the week after spring break and I still have so much work to do, and I promise I will stop talking about that, but it's literally all I'm thinking about right now. Like, I have so much to do. It's stressing me out, but I'm more excited about reading. I'm still in the middle of Iron Widow. I'm about like decently halfway through now. I'm still intrigued by it and I am enjoying it, and something is gonna happen in this book, like literally coming up in this next chapter, that I think is really interesting, and I'm excited to see how it plays out. And I also am really enjoying the dynamic of these three characters that we've got. So we've got the main character and then her like chrysalis partner, who is like a really bad guy, but like he's not a really bad guy. And then we've got her childhood friend, who is also now like infiltrating the system and like helping them out. So the dynamic is really interesting and I enjoy it, but I also don't really know how I feel with it, especially with like the plot that's playing out. I just want more like darkness. Like, that sounds so silly, but I don't know. I guess I wanted more like death and murder and not just like silly fun times. I'm enjoying the silly fun times, but I thought there would be more death and murder. So yeah. That's the only book I'm actually currently reading, but I do want to start Dune this week, because I said I would start it last week and I didn't. But this is like all that's on my mind. Like, I just want to get in here. That's all I'm currently reading or like about to start reading, but I also did just get approved for an arc, which I'm so excited about because I never really request arcs because I'm bad at reading them in time. Like, all the ones I've requested on NetGalley I would get and then just never read, and I always felt so bad for doing that because other people like probably wanted to read them and didn't get it. But this one I'm actually really excited about, so I've tried to do better about only requesting ones I'm genuinely intrigued about, not just like look cool. So I got approved for The God and the Gumiho by Sophie Kim, which I've seen like all over Instagram. It looks really good, so I was so surprised I got approved for that because like that's really random and I don't have a lot of like watchers or followers, but I got approved. So yeah, I have that in ebook and I don't know when I'll start it, but it comes out I think June 4th. So definitely I'll start it before then, but yeah, I just wanted to note that I got approved for that, which is super exciting. But that also has the option for me to like listen to it. Like, I can read it as an ebook or I could listen to it on the NetGalley app. So if I need an audiobook, maybe I could listen to it, but I kind of wanted to like read it on my iPad or something. We'll see. I don't know when I'll read that, but maybe soon if I'm looking for an audiobook. So as for what I'm doing tonight, it's currently like, what time is it? Like almost 6 o'clock. So I'll probably eat dinner, I need to take a shower, and then you know the drill, do the homework. But I'd like to start Dune. That would be really nice, just to kind of like give myself a mental break and do something I enjoy. But I'm also in the process of like trying to figure out what classes I'm going to take for my fall semester, and it's stressing me out. If you didn't know, I'm an English major, and like there are no English classes being offered, especially in my track. Like, my track is creative writing, and they aren't offering any next semester, which is so much fun. And it's okay because I didn't want to take them all at once anyways, so I'm glad I'll be able to like spread them out. But just trying to plan what else I'm going to take is a nightmare. And my computer is not working. I need to get a new one. I will be getting a new one, but it's just crazy town over here. So it would be nice to have an escape into this crazy political town. Well, if I'll update again tonight, but I definitely will tomorrow, and I plan to film a sit-down video tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. But guys, so today's Tuesday and I actually don't work today, which is very great. I kind of forgot that I didn't work today, so I was very overjoyed when I realized that. But I just filmed a video, so I'm gonna put these books away, but first I'm gonna update you on what I read in Dune last night. I did end up starting it. I know I said I didn't want to start it until I finished Iron Widow, but I just couldn't wait longer. So I got up to page 60, so not that far into it, but I love it so far. It's amazing. I am annotating it, which is very tedious, but I'm glad I am because it will help me keep up with like the plot and everything that's happening. So far I have three different tabs. I have one for Paul's dreams, one for plot, and one for quotes. And plot is kind of just more just things that will either pop up later, that I know will pop up later, or just things that I didn't really realize happened and are just intriguing to me. And then quotes and like Paul's dreams are pretty self-explanatory, I think. But yeah, so far I'm really loving it. I'm hoping I can get through it quick and just read a lot more. I also have a bunch of work to do still, but we'll see how much I get to. So now I'm going to put these books away and I'll do a little time lapse for you. Hey guys, so it's currently Friday night. I didn't film much Wednesday or yesterday, Thursday, because I was at my boyfriend's and we didn't really do much, but I was just spending time with him, so I didn't want to film any clips and like interrupt that. Plus, I didn't even do much reading, so I felt like I could just update right now. But yeah, it's Friday night. I have no plans. Well, actually I do have plans, but like I'm not going out anywhere. I swear I'm the most like boring college student ever. Like I don't go out, I don't do anything really. Well, sometimes I do, but just not often. But anyway, so tonight I'm probably just gonna watch a movie with my parents and my brother. I'm not sure what yet. And then I'll just read and watch some YouTube, do some editing. So pretty exciting, I think. But yeah, I also didn't do much today. I literally came over from school and took a nap, just took a shower. I've been very like lazy, but like self-care lazy, but I think that's okay. And since I haven't filmed much, I think I'm gonna make this go on to next week too. So as for a little reading update with my progress, I've made some progress with Dune, so I'm currently on page 130. So not super far into it, but it is like slower, and the book does like build up a lot more to like the first big like event, like basically the big betrayal. So yeah, it's interesting to see a lot more of the characters' thoughts, like characters that we don't really focus on a lot in the movie. And obviously in the movie it's like, of course you're not going to focus on every single character. There's no time for that. There's no space in the movie for that. So it's interesting to see like more like in-depth thoughts from these characters, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm just waiting for it to really like pick up, because like I already know what's gonna happen. I'm just waiting for it to happen. But yeah, so far I'm loving it, and I hope to read a lot more of this like this weekend and next week too. I also haven't made any progress in Iron Widow since we last talked, mainly because I didn't even bring this to my boyfriend's with me. I just brought Dune. But I'm debating like just really powering through this, because looking at it now, I don't have that much left, and I feel like the chapters are short enough and they go like fast enough that I could finish this really quickly if I wanted to. So maybe I could do that this weekend. Like I'll bring this to work with me, and then on lunch I'll read this, and like just in my downtime I'll read this. But that'll be hard because I'm also like, I just really am into Dune right now. I know I've been saying that this entire video, but I think that's been turning my attention away from this. But I just want to get this done because I don't want to end this month having not finished this when I said I would. And also I'm this far already, so if I just need to push through, honestly. Other than that, I don't really know what I'm gonna read next. Like, I did have Anne of Green Gables on my March TBR, but it's looking like I'm not gonna get to that with the way like Iron Widow and Dune is going. So I'm thinking I could pick up like an audiobook maybe, pick one off my shelves, but I'll also look through my Libby catalog and see what I can choose from. Okay, so I just looked through my shelves and also my like Libby tags, and nothing was really calling me for an audiobook right now, so that's probably just gonna be something like I decide spur of the moment. I'm not gonna make plans for anything. So I'm just gonna like go with the flow for reading for a bit, because I need to prioritize this, but also in prioritizing this, maybe I can get to Anne of Green Gables, or at least start it if I finish this, but that's all up in the air. I'm not gonna give like a definite yes or no. So all I really have for right now. I am gonna make this video like into next week, like I said. Maybe next week I can do a reading day, like on one of the days I'm off school. I think that would be enjoyable because hopefully the weather gets nicer again. So I'm gonna leave for now, but I'll update you later. Everybody, so today's currently Monday. It is March 25th, so I really can't believe we're at the end of March. That's kind of hard to believe, actually. It's flown by. Like, it's been like a blink. Like I said, I'm making this reading vlog go over 2 weeks instead of just one, just because I think I'll have more like content. The weather's supposed to be great this week, so hopefully I'll have more time to like do more things that I can include in here. And also just like live my life more and not just be like cooped up in my room because it's cold. And also the sun is going actually crazy right now, so sorry for that. But yeah, the weather's great today. I just got back from school and I'm gonna do a reading update, and also I have some like kind of exciting news. Well, it's exciting for me, so I hope you're excited too. But I'll start with the reading update. So I actually have made a lot of progress in Dune, and I'm currently on page 249, which is like 3 pages away from part 2, or book 2 is what it's called. But yeah, so far I'm flying through this. I'm loving it. It's fantastic. There's actually a lot of differences from the movies. Obviously, like I wasn't surprised. I knew there would be differences, but more than I thought. But I'm surprised at how accurate the movies are to this so far. I think they left out things that definitely could have been left out. Like, they were important, but like not as important as what they kept. So I'm really like happy with how they like adapted it. So I think it's very true to this so far. It's fantastic. It's an incredible book. I highly recommend this, and I'm not even halfway through. But I'm excited to continue. I've honestly been reading it pretty quickly. So I won't like say I'll finish it this week. I probably won't, but I definitely will make a lot more progress on it. I still have not made any progress with Iron Widow. I don't have too much to say about this. It's kind of just like if I feel like it, I'll pick it up. I'm not going to put any pressure on myself to finish it this month. It would be great to, but like Easter's next weekend, and then like March is done. And this was on my March TBR, so I'll kind of be sad if I don't finish it because it was on my TBR. I hope I get to it, but it's kind of like an if I do, I do, and if I don't, I don't. It doesn't matter. I also have another book to add to my TBR. You see me talking about this, like my TBR is insane and then I get new books, but I didn't buy this one, and also I may not keep this one because it is an ARC that my mom gave me, called 5 Broken Blades by May Corland. Basically it's like a 6 of Crows kind of story is the vibe I get. There's like a bunch of characters from different backgrounds and they come together and try and kill this king. That's a great summary, but that's basically what it is. So like very 6 of Crows vibes, which has me excited, has me intrigued, and my mom really liked this, and she never normally like reads like the type of fantasy I read. She reads very like a variety of books. So for her to like fly through this and really enjoy it, I have high hopes. It's also an ARC, so it comes out on May 7th. So, you know, if I get to it before then, that's great. If not, no biggie. I also did put in a hold on Libby for 2 audiobooks. I put in one for Strange the Dreamer, which I have already read, but I'd like to reread that one before I read Muse of Nightmares, and I would like to read Muse of Nightmares soon, maybe in a couple months. But there was a wait for the audiobook, so I have to wait for that, and that's just a maybe. I also put in a hold for City of Bones because Lord knows I don't need to start another series, but I've always been so intrigued to read Cassandra Clare's books, like the Shadowhunters books, because I never have. I like completely skipped that era of like middle school, high school. Like I never read anything by her, but I just want to know. And I'm curious, and I've heard people say that the Mortal Instruments is not that good, and like you don't need to read it, but I would like to read that series before I get into like the other one. I don't really know how it works. But I thought if people say it's not that great, then I'll just listen to it on audiobook. And I don't have to like own that one, you know, I can own the series of hers that I really enjoy, if I enjoy them. I don't know, I'm getting ahead of myself. And now for the exciting news and just the exciting part for me. I don't know how much I've talked about this, but my laptop is ancient. It's from almost 10 years ago and it was my mom's, and it is on its last leg. So I got a new laptop, which is like a dream come true. It's fantastic. It's amazing. I never knew what I was missing, but I'll show you. Here it is. Dark blue MacBook Air. Look how thin that is. Isn't that crazy? Like, part of my brain is like, how does that work? Like, how is all of that in there? I've got my, you can't see it at all, my Hogwarts background. It's so cool because I can use my thumbprint and log in. It's amazing. Thought I'd show you that because I got a laptop case, so I thought I could just put that on. It'd be fun. And I'm also gonna order some Redbubble stickers to put in the case, because here I have my old laptop with stickers like all on it, which I love, but I'm gonna have to take those off for when I trade it in. But with that one, since it's like so new, it was expensive, I don't want to put stickers directly on it, so I'm just gonna get a case and then I can put the stickers in the case and switch them if I want, kind of like how people do with their Kindle cases, like they switch the stickers from time to time. Alrighty, that was probably the shortest clip ever, but I just had to look up how to do it and then I went and ate dinner, so yeah, but it is done. We've got the case on, very like glossy now. Da-da-da. Yeah, it's great. And now I just need to order some stickers to fill this up. And I have a feeling I ordered too many because I'm realizing that they're probably not all gonna fit, but that means I can switch them out. And I'm okay with that. And I can also use some other ones for my journal. We'll have to see. I just need to order them first. So I really don't have many plans for tonight. It's nice out, so if I am able to, I'd like to take a walk just to soak it in. That'd be nice. And if I don't, I'll probably just like try and sit outside and read if our deck is cleaned up. If not, I'll just read by my window, get some sunlight, because I like to read more of Dune. I don't know how much reading I'll be doing for the week. Tomorrow I might be hanging out with my friend. That's a maybe though, but I'm also off work again, so we'll see. So I have a pretty busy week planned, but we'll see how much reading we can do. Hopefully I can finish Iron Widow maybe. That's pretty ambitious, or makes a lot of progress in Dune. Either one I'm happy with. Okay, so it's currently like 10 p.m. right now. I've read more of Dune. I got up to I got up to book 2, which is really exciting. So I definitely plan to read a bit more before I go to sleep tonight. But I've just been watching some booktube videos, and I've just like looked at my shelves and I'm like, there's some books on here that I don't, why am I keeping these around? Like, I just have a random urge to unhaul some stuff. Normally I use that as an excuse to buy new books, but I'm not going to do that this time. I'm going to use it to actually declutter before I move rooms, whenever that's going to be. But just actually like get books off my shelf that I genuinely don't care for. So I think I'm going to go through that real quick because it's kind of like bothering me. Like, I just have to do it right now. And normally I always start this stuff at like 10 p.m, like late at night, and then I don't finish and I'm super tired. But I don't really have plans tomorrow, so it doesn't really matter. You're seeing all the different angles of my room in this video, but I've only got a couple because I realized going through that there are some I still do want to read, but I have hopes that I will like them. I just probably won't read them physically. So I'm at this weird like dilemma where I think I'll enjoy it and I hope I enjoy it, so I want to keep the physical copy, but I don't want to read the physical copy because either the font is too small or just it seems more convenient to listen to an audiobook. So I feel like for some of them, I'll listen to them on audiobook, but I'm hoping I enjoy the book, so I'm keeping the physical copy around, if that makes sense. It makes sense in my mind, like my logic for it. But these, I'm just like, I don't think I'll ever do either method with them. Just not really interesting to me anymore. So first I've got Snowflower and the Secret Fan by Lisa C. I picked this up at like a library book sale. I think this was $1, and it's a used copy. Like, it's kind of not the best condition, but like I don't really care. But it just sounded really interesting. It's like a historical fiction, and I know Lisa C is a super like well-known, well-loved author. And I do like have this like saved for an audiobook option on Libby if I ever were to pick it up. But I was just looking at it and I was like, you know, it interests me, and like the story I think would be really good, but there's other things that I care about more right now. And I think someone else would enjoy this more if they were to pick it up. It's gonna go. And also look how small this font is. That's tiny, and like it's a shorter book, but that's really small font. I don't like it. I also have Strange Weather by Joe Hill, and this is a short story collection. It's Stephen King's son, and so it's like 4 different short stories, and I swear every single year around Halloween time, I'm like, I'm gonna read this. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be horror short stories, and I swear for like 5 years now, I haven't read it. I think I tried, and then I couldn't. I've had this since like middle school, and I still haven't read it. So I think it's a sign that it's never gonna happen. I hate to like give up on it, and I really hate saying like, oh, I'm never gonna read it. But again, like audiobook's an option. I can always rent it. It's just taking up space on my shelf that other books that I like more or that I'm more excited for could fill. And again, someone else might enjoy this a lot more. The next 2 I'm like kind of on the fence about. I have Dragon, Sword, and King, which is this like short story like fantasy collection by a bunch of like really well-known fantasy authors like George R.R. Martin, Diana Gabaldon. Like, I love Outlander, I love Game of Thrones, so I'm like, oh, this will be fun. I also got this from my school's, like, it was like a major fair they were having in my freshman year, and I visited the English table because that's my major, and they were giving out free books, so I said I like fantasy, and they gave me this, and I was like, how cool. So it's like a fun little memory, but I'm also like, I'm never really gonna read this. So maybe I'll just like use this and like tear the pages out for like a book craft, because that would be nice. But again, it's a nice copy, so I'm like, maybe I could just give it away and someone would enjoy this more. But it's also a fun memory, but I'm also never gonna read it. So I'm on the fence about this. I'm really not sure, but I'm leaning towards giving it away. And the last one is Marple by Agatha Christie. I think I might hold on to this because again, it's like short stories, and it's also a large print. My Nana gave this to me. And it also has like authors that I've read before, like Leigh Bardugo and Ruth Ware, and I liked books by both of them. So I'm like, well, maybe their short stories I'll enjoy, and like some of the authors, I can find some new authors with writing I like. I think I'll keep on to this one just for something, but in a couple months, like maybe when I move rooms, if I still have not really thought about this, I'll give it away. There are some books I have, such as The Alienist. I got this as a gift for my birthday a year or 2 ago. This font is tiny. Why did they do that? That bothers me so much. But I think I'm gonna love this. It's like a true crime novel. Like, it sounds right up my alley. But I think I'm more inclined to pick up the audiobook because the font is so small. I would literally dread physically reading this because it's so close together. But I think I'm gonna love it, so I want to keep it around so that if I listen to the audiobook and I love this book, I have the physical copy. You know? I also have Blood Orange. This book, I think my boyfriend got me when we were out book shopping one day, and I'm sorry I still haven't read it. He knows me very well, so he's not surprised. But I tend to enjoy thrillers more when I listen to them, but I'm hoping I really like this because I don't see many people talk about it, so maybe it'll be like an underrated, really good read. But I prefer them on audiobooks, so maybe if I love it, I'll have the physical copy. I guess this is like maybe just a justification of owning books and not like really purging my shelves, but to me it makes sense. So I'm just gonna get rid of the ones I said, and then when I move rooms, I'll be back with some more updates. Anyways, let's update my shelves. Good morning. It is currently Tuesday. As you can see, I'm really just not ready. I look like I rolled out of bed. I did roll out of bed, but I've been spending my morning reading a little bit of Iron Widow. I've read like, I think 2 chapters, so really not that much, but I told myself that since I got up to part 2 in Dune yesterday, I would focus on this for a bit before I continue with that, because it was a very good like stopping point. So I'm gonna prioritize this a bit more and hopefully try and finish it this week, because the chapters are super short and I feel like it is totally possible, especially if I just push myself. So yeah, I had some breakfast, made my tea, and when I rolled out of bed this morning, I was looking at my shelves, and this shelf in particular, I have it organized by genre, but I'm realizing I want to do a rainbow shelf, and normally I never like rainbow shelves. Like, I think they look pretty, but for me they're just not practical, especially if I have multiple authors and I want to keep them together. But for the most part, this shelf is like not series. Like, if I have series, they're together and like up there, like it's mainly just like single authors here. So I feel more comfortable making that a rainbow shelf. So I think that's what I'm gonna do, because I just think it'd make me a lot happier. And I feel like I have a decent amount of colors that it would flow really well. I'm gonna put this together real quick. Okay, the rainbow has been completed. I'm actually pretty satisfied with how it turned out. I think I do have a very good variety of colors. Like, the way it flows from like red to orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and then just like a little bit of pink. I think it looks really good, and I am very satisfied for the time being until I decide I want to change it again. So yeah, I think this is a great decision. It also makes the background of my like setup look so much cooler, like just the way it flows. I'm so happy with it. But I think right now I'm just gonna get ready for the day. I'm gonna shower, get dressed, put makeup on, you know, do all that. I'll see you in a bit. Hello. It's a bit later. You can see my cat behind me. She's making me feel very lazy. I've had such a lazy day. All I've done is take a shower, eat lunch, and lay here and watch YouTube. But that's okay with me because it's a rest day. I've just been watching some YouTube, but I am kind of in the mood to read more of Iron Widow. It's gonna be more of like whenever I feel like it, and I do kind of feel like it right now, but I also will most likely fall asleep because every time she is asleep in here, or like one of my cats is asleep in here, I also fall asleep. But I'm okay with that because I have really nothing to do. But yeah, I'd like to make some progress. At least I'm about like 2/3 of the way through. I'd at least like to get as close to the end as possible. But I'm not gonna put too much pressure on myself. I'm excited to finish this because that means I'll get to pick out my April TBR because it's almost the end of March. So I think I'm gonna draw from my TBR jar. So I also need to do a bit of editing, so I might do some of that too. We'll just see. But I just thought I'd update a little bit before I inevitably fall asleep and sleep the day away. She's never been this close to the window before. Look at her. She likes to watch the birds, I think, right? Oh. Look at her. Look at you. Are you enjoying your little lounge? Hey guys, it's currently Friday. I'm in a fantastic mood because it is like 70 degrees and sunny out, and it just feels amazing, and I feel amazing, and I am just so happy right now. So I had school, and then I hung out with a friend after class, and we just sat on a picnic blanket and did some homework and just kind of chilled out, and it was so nice. And then I just like had some lunch, and I have some strawberries here that I'm gonna snack on while I try and finish Iron Widow, because I am so close. I read some more last night. I'm so close to the end. It doesn't look like it, but I am, because the chapters are pretty short. I just want to be done with this so badly, because I am in the mood for a book that's gonna rattle me. Like, it's gonna change my life. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but I just am in the mood for a fantastic book, and I'm hoping Dune can be that book. But I also just want to be like surprised by a book. Like, I love when books make me feel things, and right now this is not making me feel anything, but I've gotten this far. It'd be just such a waste to not finish it. So I'm gonna pull through. I haven't made any more progress in Dune. I'm still up to book 2, but I will continue that after I finish this, hopefully soon, like today. Right now I'm gonna read this, and hopefully I can finish it very quickly. That would be wonderful. Guys, happy Saturday. You're probably not watching this on Saturday, but it is Saturday for me right now. It is March 30th, and this morning before I went to work I finished Iron Widow, and I will say I did kind of skim the last couple chapters because I was just so ready for it to be over that I didn't even care what happened anymore. I did get more invested as like the plot started amping up a bit, but I just found myself having a lot of problems with it. And I just have a bone to pick with this book because it has such a cool concept, and that's what intrigued me to this, but ultimately it was just very disappointing, which I'm very sad to say because I really had high hopes for this book and thought I'd love it. But unfortunately I did not. I ended up rating it a 2.5 out of 5 stars. Normally I would have just given it like a 2, but I added on a half star for like the hopes that I had. I don't know if that makes sense or is really like fair or justified, but I just adore this concept and just like what it could have been, that I felt bad just giving it a 2. Because overall the plot was just kind of meh. Like, I just wanted to see more from it overall. In the characters, in the plot, in the world building, there was enough foundation of all of that there. I just don't think there was enough, and I think this either could have been longer and more fleshed out and explained, or just dialed down a bit for what it is. Like, for example, the world building. It's set in this kind of futuristic, China-inspired world, so they have technology and they have tablets, yet their, like, political class system, I guess, is very like outdated, I'd say. Like, it's their way of thinking doesn't align with like the current technology era they're living in. Like, you'd think if they're that technologically advanced they wouldn't be such terrible people. I don't know if that makes sense. Liked the amount of world building there was. There wasn't enough for there to be a like consistent, interesting plot. It honestly just felt like a bunch of little vignettes because nothing was like flowing. Like, we would end a scene and then we'd go on like to a time skip, and like we would never really pick up immediately after a scene and go straight into the aftermath of that. It would always be like jumping around, which is fine, but like I didn't really enjoy that. I wanted to see the aftermath of something, or like the consequences, or just like a continuation of what had already been started in that chapter. So it was kind of frustrating to just be jumping all over the place, especially because the main character eventually started to annoy me a lot, and I won't articulate this very well, so I'm going to link a Goodreads review that completely sums up how I feel about this. So if you care to read that, I would say go read that, because she sums it up entirely how I feel about this book. Honestly, it was just kind of a letdown, and I thought there would be more to it. I wanted to see it more fleshed out. I wanted to see more of her training for the chrysalis things at the beginning. I wanted to see the process of how that works, because then that would make sense for the entire rest of the book. Like, I felt like there wasn't much to go off of. So if there wasn't much substance in the beginning, why was I supposed to care about her in this army and like being a pilot? And that's why ultimately my enjoyment of this declined as the book continued. And there is like a cliffhanger and a big reveal at the end, which I did see coming as it was leading up to it. I saw it coming. I had a feeling about it at the beginning, but I was like, no way. Like, this is just gonna focus on the pilot stuff. But then near the end, in like the final battle, I kind of got hints of it, and I was like, yeah, this is definitely where it's going. And I'm not like disappointed, but again, there isn't enough substance for that to make sense in this world that they're living in. Like, I'm just not really satisfied with it. So overall, I'm disappointed. I do recommend this if you want something that like has a very unique world and like a very unique kind of story, because there is also like a polyamorous relationship in this. I don't think it's executed very well, but it is in this, and I've never seen that before. So if you want to give this a try for that, to each their own. But overall, I was just very disappointed with it. So again, I'll link that in the description so you can read that and have a more articulate explanation of why I didn't enjoy this, but she sums up entirely what I'm thinking. So now that I've completed this, I'm very glad that I've completed this and have it be done. I will be unhauling this. I just don't want to see it. It's just disappointing. But now that I finished this, I am free to continue Dune, and I'll be starting off from book 2. So I won't set really any goals, honestly, because I've got a lot to do this week, but I'll also pick up a new book off my April TBR, which should be up soon as well. So yeah, that's where I'm gonna end it here. I just thought I'd explain this because I'm pretty bummed. I had high hopes and they were not met. So it is what it is. Goodbye. Anyways, that's all I have for, I guess, this double weekly reading vlog, since this went over 2 weeks. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. I hope you have a wonderful day or night wherever you are.